Hello, fellow duelists. This is Shadow of the Moon, and today I'm going to be doing a agent deck profile for the GOAT format. So I actually did have this video posted up before, but a commenter actually made a comment and actually brought up to my attention that Celestial Transformation was not in GOAT format. I don't know why I thought that it was. It came shortly after GOAT format, but yeah. So I had to go back and redo the agent deck profile that I have for it. And if you haven't yet, you can actually take a look. I'll post a link on the description below about the other fairy deck profile that I posted up, the Archlord Zerato one. I wanted to do that because I noticed in the poll that was the most popular and most voted deck next for the fairy type, so I wanted to go ahead and do that. But this deck I'm actually really excited about doing because it provides a lot of life gain at the same time of being able to kind of lock your opponent into really activating traps using Royal Decree, and then just gaining more life and just constantly continuously gaining life to make it to where your opponent really can't really do much against. So it's kind of like a Taya deck back in the old GBA games and everything. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and get straight on into the deck profile. So first off, for the agent section, we're going to have the Agent of Judgment Saturn. The Agent of Judgment Saturn, if you have more life points during your opponent and everything, you contribute this card to do the difference in life points to your opponent. So like say you have 2,000 life points more, and then you activate this card when Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, you can actually do the 2,000 points of direct damage to your opponent, so it's like massive burn. And then the bread and butter of the deck, 3 copies of, let's see if I can move this because this doesn't have the things on there, 3 copies of the Agent of Force Mars. So first off, this card, since it is 0 attack, can be searched using Shining Angel. If you have more life points than your opponent, this card's attack will become the difference. So if you have 2,500 life points more than your opponent, this card's attack and defense will become 2,500. So this is a very important card in the deck. And then you've got 3 Agent of Creation Venus. Agent of Creation Venus, you pay 500 life points to special summon the Mystic Shine Balls from your hand or your deck, and it makes it important because, yeah, you are losing 500 a turn, but you're also adding fodder, and if you have Sanctuary in the Sky on the field, you do not have to worry about losing life points because you do not lose life points when you have Sanctuary in the Sky when your fairy-type monsters get destroyed by battle. And then you have Agent of Creation, which is a 1,600. It's a great way to be able to get the more of the like bodies and stuff on board and everything, because that's mainly what this deck is. So now you're going to go to the other fairy side. So it's going to be Guardian Angel Joan. This is quite possibly one of the best fairy type monsters. So Guardian Angel Joan works like this. You can actually gain life points based off the monster's attack that you do when you destroy it by battle. You can gain life points when it goes to the graveyard based off of their original attack. So if you destroy a 2,000 or 2,500 monster or whatever, you're going to gain that much life points. So see what I mean by massive life gain? And it is a double sack monster, but if you've got either Kaiser Seahorse, if that's what you want to run, you can run Kaiser Seahorse in the deck. Or if you want to run, which I've actually been thinking about doing, I may actually do that. But unfortunately, it's not a fairy type. But you can either run Kaiser Seahorse, or if you have the Mystic Shine Balls and stuff, you can actually use those as fodder for that. And then you've got 2 copies of your Aeronite Parstaff. Aeronite Parstaff is great because when you do direct damage, you can also draw a card, and it does piercing damage on top of that. Then you've got 3 copies of Shining Angel. Shining Angel is a good way to search for Agent of Force, search for another one, or search for your copy of the Absorbing Kit from the Sky, which will allow you to gain life points equal to the monster that it destroys, its level times 300. So if you destroy a level 4, you'll gain 1,200 life points, and so on and so forth. So it's actually a good standard card because it is 1,300, so it does get under like Messenger of Peace and everything, and it's just a very good card overall because it's 1,300, and you'll keep gaining life points when you destroy a monster based off of their level. Unfortunately, it is level 4, so yeah, that's the only downside to it, so Gravity Bind won't really work with it. But then for your spells, you've got 3 copies of Sanctuary in the Sky. This card's going to make it to where your opponent does not do damage to you when they destroy a fairy-type monster, as well as a terraforming to be able to add and search for it, because that is very important in the deck. You want to be able to search for the terraforming. 3 copies of Cestus of Dalga. Dalga works very well because it increases a fairy-type monster's attack by 500, and also makes it to where you gain life points equal to their destroyed attack. So they're different. So this does work very well. This is a great tech card to have in this deck, and it's predominantly just for fairy type monsters, so it's kind of cool to actually see your own equip spell. If you wanted to run Iron Blacksmith Kotetsu to be able to search for this, you totally could. That's another option if you wanted to. And then we got 3 Poison of the Old Man. It's simple. You either gain 1200 or you do 800 points of direct damage, so you can't lose with that. It's very good. And then Gian the Cure Master, I do not have them right now, so I'm using Soul of the Pure. Mainly, the only difference is you're only going to be gaining 800 instead of 1,000, but it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, it's like 200 points less. It's not that big of a deal. And then we are just playing Pot of Greed and Graceful Charity. I am not playing the Delinquent Duel in this deck because I don't really see the need for it for this deck, for this type of deck. And then 2 Nox, because you're going to need to destroy your opponent's face-down monsters. And then you're going to be using Creature Swap. Creature Swap is there for your Shining Angel, so you can get a monster as well as take control of one of your opponents. And then for these spells, so we're going to be playing Locked Royal Decree. Your opponent, no traps can be activated, but that's okay because you're actually not even focusing on activating traps in this deck. The only other trap that you have in here is Dust Tornado. I wanted to play Dust Tornado because I thought it would be a nice little tech card to add in here. Most people don't even see it coming. They see Dust Tornado and they're like, oh yeah, that's all you're playing and stuff. And then you actually plop them with Royal Decree and it's like, oh shit, I can't use Mirror Force. I can't use Torrential Tribute. I can't use Ring. I can't use any of that stuff. So, alright, so that's going to be it for this deck profile. That told you it was going to be super quick. I just wanted to kind of showcase the deck. It is a lot of fun. I love being able to lock my opponent from doing anything and just keep massively gaining life points. Obviously, this deck can be improved if you feel it necessary to add like Iron Blacksmith or you want to add Kaiser Seahorse. That is an option. You totally can add that. It works very well with the deck because with Kaiser Seahorse, it allows you to only have to tribute them. The only difference, the only problem that I saw was that Kaiser Seahorse cannot be searched because it is not a warrior type, and also Kaiser Seahorse is above 1500, so there's really no way for you to search for it. So, alright, so that's going to be it for this deck profile. Thank you so much for watching it again, because I did post this up about a month or so ago. But, alright, that's going to be it. And with that, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.